See, the reality is Christians today are extremely soft. And in fact, the Bible actually proves it. See, Christianity today looks nothing like Christianity from the Bible. That's just the reality of it. And to make matters worse, some of you won't even like what I'm about to say, but it's in the scripture. It's not even my opinion. So if it offends you, good, because maybe it's the conviction that you've been avoiding. See, when I look around, I think about all the men that I see, all those types of crazy things happen around the world, and they don't do anything. They don't act, they don't speak up because we've been tamed down. Like we hear this thing about testosterone being lowered and the American man, especially, becoming weaker. But the thing about it is, Jesus was not weak, Jesus was strong. See, the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 11 through 16, Jesus returns on a white horse with a sword, judging and making war. Man, that's not gentle. That's not peaceful. That's Jesus coming back holding a lamb, the warrior king, with his angels. John chapter 2, verse 13. Flipping tables, drove out scammers with the whip. We preach a Jesus who hugs everybody. We preach a Jesus who is, and he is those things. He is love. But we ignore the Jesus that destroys evil. That's how America has been tamed. A soft Christian is a contradiction to the scripture. And I think that that's pretty clear at this point. I think it's extremely important for us to recognize that. And so the second point I want to bring up is that the world actually hates real faith. The world hates real faith. What does it mean? John chapter 15, verse 18. The world, if it hates you, remember it hated me first. Some of you work so hard to fit in that you actually forget that you were called to stand out. You were called to do other things. And if, honestly, if nobody hates your walk, you're probably not walking right. You don't have a walk. You're not doing the right things. And that's the point that a lot of people don't realize. Christians are weak because every single day they have battles with Satan, and Satan's actually kicking their butt. In 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, it says, your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion. See, Satan doesn't even need to attack a lot of you. You destroy yourselves with laziness. You destroy yourselves with laziness. Every day you have a battle, and that battle is between you and Satan, between you and your weaker self. The book of James, chapter 4, verse 7 says, resist the devil and he will flee. But most people don't resist the devil. And honestly, it makes Christians look bad. When you have a rise of other religions, such as Islam, a lot of people turn to Islam because it has strength to it, whereas Christianity has lost its strength. People actually look at things like the Crusades as this horrific, terrible thing, when in reality, that was just Christians protecting their land, getting their land back. It was Christians defending their faith from invasion. Right now, I'm not going, into like a religious battle here, but we've become weak as Christians. Weak, and I'm not promoting violence, but I am saying that we need to be strong. The fourth point I want to make is that modern Christianity has no power, and it's all excuses. What do I mean? Well, in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5, it says, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. We have influencers, we have conferences, we have Christian merch, shirts, all this stuff that we're building, but we got no spiritual backbone. Like, we don't actually stand on what we say. We don't read our book. We don't preach it. We're afraid of people telling us to stop. We replaced obedience with feelings. But God, he doesn't bless feelings. He blesses sacrifice, and we know that. And the fifth point that I want to make is that God calls men and women to war, not comfort. What do I mean by that? Book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10 through 18, the full armor of God. Armor is not casual clothing. It's for battles. And a lot of people act like they're wearing pajamas every single day. And honestly, it's kind of crazy. See, we beg God for peace and we beg him for all these things that we want, but we don't fight for him. We don't defend him. We let people say and do whatever they want. Holiness requires war. And honestly, discipline is spiritual war. I'll leave you with this. Christianity is not soft. Christianity is not weak. Christianity is not passive. It's loud. You were called to fight the sins that you feel every single day, the darkness around you. Book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Stop being a victim. Pick up your cross and become the warrior that God designed you to be. It really is that simple. God bless you. Have a great day.